What's going on, guys? Bexio back, and today we've got a brand new video on Bitcoin. Obviously, it's been in the news like crazy. The price just keeps going up, and there's more and more big companies adopting Bitcoin and putting it on their balance sheets. So this brings up the question for everyone thinking, is it too late to get in Bitcoin, get involved in it? If you didn't buy it before, this big run up, is it too late to get involved in Bitcoin? And I would say absolutely not. We are still very, very early in this Bitcoin cycle and this Bitcoin takeover. So even looking at Bitcoin, it is in the early phases. Even at almost $50,000 a coin, it's still very early. There's only a handful of companies, not every company, and we've already had people or companies like Tesla and the S&P 500 do it, opening the door to those companies to get involved, and then reoccurring purchases as well. It's nowhere near finished and just getting started. So when you think of this, there's a lot of people in the crypto space and in Bitcoin in specific here that talk about price predictions for Bitcoin for just this year, and they are still long ways away from being, actually achieve those price goals. So if you go just off of the money and just off of prices, then even then, it's still nowhere near as close to what people think that the top or where it could go could be. So one person we have is Max Kaiser, whose prediction for last year, for 2020, was to end Bitcoin with around $28,000 per coin, and he was almost spot on with that. So his predictions carry some weight, and his prediction came out on a podcast where he said Bitcoin could reach $220,000 per coin. So even from 50,000, 220 is still a great gain if you were to get in right now. And I want to cover a lot of other people's opinions on price predictions, and we're just going to do them pretty quickly. You have Michael Saylor, who his predictions have varied actually. They've been different depending on like where he's talking about in time and stuff. But he's saying in the future, like 5-10 years, that Bitcoin could be worth hundreds of trillions of dollars as a market, putting each Bitcoin around $5 to $7 million a coin. You have the Winklevoss twins. Their price prediction is $500,000 per coin. Anthony Pompliano has his price prediction that he made in 2020 before Bitcoin took off, saying Bitcoin could reach $100,000 a coin. And the funny thing with his is everyone called him crazy for saying it could get 100,000. And now with Bitcoin nearing 50, there's people saying that he's too conservative with his predictions. So it just goes to show how quickly things change with Bitcoin. Then you have the Plan B model, which is Plan B on Twitter. He uses the stock to flow model for Bitcoin to look at prices and how the market moves and stuff. And the stock to flow model shows that somewhere within the next 6 to 8 months, Bitcoin should hit somewhere between $100,000 and $288,000 per coin. So that's a pretty big range for that prediction, but a minimum six-figure Bitcoin is basically the theme of everyone here, which even to get in now, Bitcoin's slightly under 50K, but to put in now still doubles your money within the year, which is crazy. And the reach of Bitcoin and potential of Bitcoin is far greater than just this year, and taking over, industries in the world, pegging stuff to it, and making it be a store of wealth for a lot of people, or bringing other countries up to first world country levels because of the ability to be more stable than their currency, which is something people don't realize, being in like the US dollar or with a euro or stuff like that, that their currency is decently stable. It's declining slightly, whereas other places' currencies are declining 50% a day, 100% a day. Like, it's crazy. But then my prediction for Bitcoin that I made a video on was $115,000 a coin for this year. And that was before all the craziness with Wall Street and GameStop, AMC stock, freezing trading and getting everyone upset at them. Meaning there's a lot more people who flow into Bitcoin, who are interested in this that is uncontrollable by a central person. Which is what Bitcoin is at its core. So with all that news going on, I would not be surprised to see Bitcoin hit somewhere of $300,000 a coin, or even go further than that, for just within a year, maybe a year and a half. And it's going to be crazy, the run that Bitcoin can go on, and the amount of money coming in, already insane. and the supply of Bitcoin is dwindling so fast. On the market right now, there's about 3 to 5 million coins that are liquid, like meaning they circulate through the market and someone buys them and sells them to someone else. That's like liquid, moves around. And there is somewhere of 15 million, about, or 13 to 15 million that are illiquid, that are in cold storage where people aren't selling them. Those are coins like the my Bitcoin that I have, the Tesla Bitcoin that they have, the Microsoft Bitcoin, or the MicroStrategy Bitcoin that they have. These companies aren't going to sell and trade this, every day. They're holding them for a long period of time, if not forever. So classic supply and demand shows supply dwindling quickly and demand skyrocketing. So that just means the price has to go up if you want to get a Bitcoin. So later in the year, I think we might see actually the liquid supply of Bitcoin go from like 4 million to 5 million Bitcoin, what it's at now, and go down to 2 million or less than 1 million Bitcoin that are liquid, that are trading around the markets, making it very hard for people who want to buy Bitcoin to get it at an inexpensive price, which 50K, 49K is still inexpensive compared to what it'll be when there's less than 1 million trading Bitcoin. And the price is sky high, and in order for you to get that Bitcoin, you have to pay the price. You can't force people to sell you their Bitcoin at whatever price you want. You have to pay the price that is on the market, or overpay to get someone's Bitcoin who wasn't willing to sell it in the first place, who will now do it for whatever reason. But that is the story with Bitcoin for the rest of this year. I'd say people thinking that it's too late to get in Bitcoin, not even close. It's nowhere near too late. We are still very, very early in what Bitcoin can be, and people are looking into altcoins and things like that. One thing to keep in mind with altcoins is that other than Ethereum, in my opinion, they aren't really worth it. When you look at percent gains and stuff, you might think you made so much money, but when you compare it to Bitcoin, it's actually losing value against Bitcoin. So that's where you see the difference in value from Bitcoin, where like altcoin could have a 100% week, but then still be down 10% compared to Bitcoin, because Bitcoin also rose in price and they didn't rise enough to keep up with Bitcoin. So just something to think about. Let me know what you guys think of Bitcoin, if you're involved in the market, and where you think this could go. And as always, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I'll see you guys in my next video.